What's up, my BLPs? Andrew from ABrechko Outdoors, and today I'm on top of Carr Peak in southern Arizona. This is just one video in a series of videos called Exploring Southern Arizona. If you're interested in more things to do, be sure to check my website out. I'll put a link in the description below, and you'll be able to find things to do all the way from 2 hours outside Tucson to just outside the borders of Tucson, and sometimes even within the city limits. The nice thing about Carr Peak is you're able to drive up to about 2 3/4 miles from the top. There's a parking area, there's 2 campgrounds on the way up here. When you're driving up the road, not that far from the hardball, there is a waterfall to the right-hand side, and during monsoon season, it is beautiful as it cascades right off the mountain. And you can actually see it from the road. Sometimes you can hike up to it. But that's definitely something to check out, especially during the rainy season. The road is in a little bit rough shape. We came up maybe about 2 months ago, is a lot better. You don't necessarily need a 4-wheel drive to get up. People do drive their cars up to the parking area, but you have to be a little bit careful because there are some rutty spots. But it's pretty easy to drive up here, and it gets you easily to the second highest peak in the Huachuca Mountains, which is this Carr Peak. The hike up is moderate. It's moderate just because of how steep it is and the elevation that we're at. We left the trailhead at 3 o'clock and we got here at about 4:30, and we hiked straight through. We were moving at a pretty decent clip, but it was a beautiful hike because you pass through several eco zones. You get into the tall pines a little bit, you go through the grasslands, then you get into some deciduous trees. We left the trailhead and there's really 2 intersections of the trail. The first one is marked. The second intersection is near the top. There's a fork in the trail. The one to the left goes over to Miller Peak. To get to the top of Carr Peak, you want to take the one to the right. And then you just come up and you have this beautiful walk along the ridge just before you get to the top. The view up here is beautiful. You can see out over Sierra Vista to the east, and then when you look to the west, you just see mountain range after mountain range after mountain range. This is close enough to the border that the cell phone service does switch over to the Mexican cell phone service, so keep that in mind when you're planning your trip. Today was about a 10-degree difference between Sierra Vista and the parking area that we parked at. And now we're on top of the mountain. It's quite a bit cooler. The wind is blowing, so it's pretty chilly. So do keep in mind that these are mountains and that you do need to be prepared to hike in the mountains. If you're interested in a video that kind of talks about hiking safety, especially down in southern Arizona, I'll put a link at the end of this video. If you're interested in following us on our adventures, you can subscribe to the ABrechko Outdoors channel, or you can follow us on Facebook. Just type in ABrechko Outdoors and it'll bring you to that page. Other than that, I'm Andrew from ABrechko Outdoors, and I'll see you guys on the trail.